Hello Remaker, Jacinta here from Makey Movies, and in this video I'm going to be comparing the different types of Makey bodies to see which is the best. I'll be comparing 3D printed girl body, the injection molded boy body, and the buffed injection molded girl body. Fully 3D printed Makies are the earliest versions of Makies. Representing my 3D printed Makies is Hacks. Representing the current Injection Molded Makies as of early 2016 are Eldon and Frida. Let's start off with some history about these types of Makey bodies. Hax's 3D printed body is the final type of 3D printed Makies before they got rebooted to become injection molded. 3D printed Makies have evolved since they first came out. They used to be called the classic bodies, where their joints could be shown and the movement wasn't too good, but now they have become reminiscent of BJDs, where the joints are hidden. Injection molded Makies are the current versions of Makies that you'll get if you buy one. They came into play in September 2015. Your Makey won't be fully 3D printed if you got an injection molded body, and you can't dye the injection molded part of them. But their faces still are 3D printed, so you can dye that. Now let's compare the three different Makey bodies, to find out each of their pros and cons. Starting off by taking a look at 3D printed Makies since they came first. The majority of my Makies have 3D printed bodies. When you first get your Makey, their joints are going to be quite stiff, which makes you feel like you're going to break them by moving them, but this does mean they're great for stop motions. Unfortunately, over time, they lose this great stiffness and become quite wobbly. Their flexibility is not the best. They can't even put their hands on their hips properly, their elbows are always sticking backwards. But they can hold tough poses very well. They don't even need a doll stand to stand on their own 2 feet. Although we did make a tutorial on how to make a Makey doll stand, just in case you wanted to know, it's on Hax's Hacks. All Makeys have rotation in their head, in their shoulders, their elbows, their hands, their hips, their knees, and their feet. Their limbs can be swapped out, which is very useful for stop motions, and just holding stuff. They can get stained by inks if not careful, but this gives them the possibility to be dyed any colour. In fact, they are dyed. When Makeys first get printed, they come out in a plain ice-frosted skin tone, and it's not until they're dyed that they have any variation of colour. Some of their limbs can be removed with a fair amount of ease, when others are so difficult you probably shouldn't even try. Ugh! But this is what it looks like when it does come out. Their elbow joint doesn't rotate, but does wiggle over time. Since they are dyed, there can be variations and differences in colour from the rest of their body. But usually it's very unnoticeable, so shh. When putting on clothes, they can get stuck on the rough 3D printed contouring. The contouring of the 3D printing is mainly only shown on the hands and darker skin tones. Overall, in my opinion, I think the 3D printed bodies are a bit pricey, but definitely worth it since they enable more customizability options. Now for injection molded Makies. Off we go. Starting with Eldon, because he has more 3D printed parts than Frida does, and I got him first. When you first get your boy injection molded Makey, at least in Eldon's case, their joints are reasonably smooth to move. It appears to me that injection molded boy Makey's bodies are more flexible than the 3D printed girls, but less flexible than injection molded girls. When moving him, his limbs do tend to pop off a lot, which is quite annoying for getting him into poses. Particularly Eldon's arm/shoulder joint, it's already quite stiff to move, and when I move upwards it just pops off like that. Within, his arm has a white tube that does come out. Here's a comparison between the two arms. You'll notice that the injection molded arm has a larger white tube and the hole is circular shape compared to the 3D printed one. Without the white tube, the Makie's arm will become very loose and spin over time, so don't lose it. Maybe the reason why his arms pop off so easily is due to the fact that his torso is 3D printed but his arms are not. I'm not exactly sure why his torso is 3D printed and the rest of him is not, besides his face. Maybe it's due to the fact that his body's too bulky to be injection molded? I don't know. Since his torso is still 3D printed, it retains all the basic qualities of a 3D printed Makie, including dye variations. Color differences is quite common for injection molded Makies since they're made up out of 2 different materials. At least it is easy to put on their clothes. The 3D printed part of them is prone to stains. But if the injection molded part of them gets stained, it can be wiped off easily, depending on what stained it. Unbuffed IM bodies are a bit shiny, so they're not the best for videos and photos. And they have a few minor defects like bumps, lumps, indents, and lines. IM girl Makies are pretty much exactly the same, except better. But with slight differences, such as their bodies are fully injection molded, besides their beautiful face. Their head cap is drastically different from 3D printed Makies. I didn't even know they were this different until this video. It appears to be shaped like a keyhole, and you're meant to slide the head cap, which is not 3D printed, into it like a key, I guess, and they should just click in. Their elbow joint can be removed with ease, which is more to say than the injection molded boy or 3D printed girl. Frida's flexibility overpowers all the other types of Makie's flexibility. And their limbs don't pop out while posing them, at least for the fabulous Frida. If their injection molded body is buffed like Frida is, they won't be so shiny and are much better for photos and videos. You can also buff boy injection molded Makies with a nail buffer and magic eraser. Frida's buff was done by the fabulous Little Moo. It makes them less reflective and blinding in the light, but really, who can suppress those shiny lips and eyelids? Their backplate is different compared to all the other types of Makies. I'm not completely sure how you take this backplate off. Maybe with a screwdriver? Here is the difference in feet. You can tell that the 3D printed foot is bigger. Same for the 3D printed hand. They can also use 3D printed hands, although there will be a noticeable difference in texture between them. My personal favorite type of Makie out of all of them is Injection Molded Girl! Yay! What type is your favorite? Thanks for watching the video, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and buy our book, Broken Toys. Bye!